Hello YouTube, here's my boy.
Press the applications bell and the subscribe button in below.
And thank you.
And thank you.
Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today is Payday. This is March 4, and Grace and I are heading to the bank, do our monthly thing, do our monthly grocery also. I have a direct deposit, by the way. For those that are interested in doing direct deposit here in the Philippines, it is available for most pension accounts. When I'm talking about Social Security and so forth. The only disadvantage to it is you do have to appear in person to transfer your US dollars into pesos when you want to withdraw money from that account. And it is a passbook account. You cannot get a debit card tied to it. You can't do any other transactions. It's just an agreement they have with Social Security to ensure that there's less fraud going on. Most banks offer the same thing. The key to it is when you go in and want to do this direct deposit, you don't ask for a direct deposit account. You want to get what they call a pension account, because they don't know what a direct deposit is. They will look at you real strange, I promise. So remember, pension account, which is a passbook US dollar account. It's a account that is set up specifically for pensions, Social Security, and so forth. I actually use two banks. One is for my Social Security, which is BPI, and I've been with them for roughly 12 years. And PNB, I use them because they have they are a U.S. licensed bank. They do have a couple of branches in the United States. Now BPI, their branches in the U.S. are remittance companies only. They're not a licensed bank. Anything they do their transactions through the bank in New York, to the best of my knowledge, because that's the way my funds come, through BPI. So that's some good information for you on some of the things. If you decide you're going to live here and you want to know about what to do with your monies, especially if you're in a situation like me, I had nobody that I could really trust in the United States that I could put on my account and help me if something happened. They get locked out of my account and so forth. I know some have other sources of income and so forth. That's fine, and you use different banks. That's fine. It works for you. That I'm not telling you that you need to get a direct deposit account. But if you're like me and you have only Social Security, and I do have a little check that I get where I got my back broke in 1980, I get a whopping $66.60 every 2 weeks. What an amazing amount of money. What you think about that now? And it's through the state of Kentucky, and they don't do international deposits. That's why I have the PNB account, because they do use routing numbers. The rest of the banks want to force you to use the SWIFT code, and Kentucky don't accept that. Apologize, but I'm watching the road and trying to think of what to talk about at the same time. You know, I'm one of those people can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. And for those of you that's still interested in my last video about internet, you can get the antenna in Lazada. The one I've got, they no longer have in stock at this moment. But there are other suppliers that sell with the same dBi. Make sure if you're in a remote area, you must get that 30 dBi for the vertical and horizontal, and they will advertise it as 60 dBi. And it will be 5G compatible, so that you'll be if you don't get a 5G modem at this time, you can upgrade to that with no problem. Right now, the 5G modems are just, for my use, are just too expensive. And I'm not sure if I could get 5G or not because of the distance. My understanding, 5G does not reach out as far as the 4G. Maybe I'll get some info. Maybe somebody can comment on that and tell me differently. But that's what I understand at the moment. Now, the modem is a BLDT boost even. The model number is an R281. Now, it is carrier locked. Now, if you don't want carrier lock, there are modems out there that are compatible to what I've got. The reason I got this one being carrier locked is because of their subscription plans for prepaid. I can get for 999 pesos a month unlimited data with no capping or restrictions. That's why I got it. Now you got to use their Giga Life app to do that, which is no big deal. It's easy. It makes it very simple. And you can load it also like you would a regular cell phone. And for those that have Gcash, you know you can load directly from your Gcash, no problem. As your digital wallet, as they say. And other wallets will do the same thing. You know, I think there's a Payday and some other things that are similar to Gcash. I've been using the Gcash app for a few months now, and I kind of like it. Yeah, this is I've got 3 kilometers of this road here that I'm traveling, and it takes me longer to get to the highway than it does from the highway to get to San Carlos, where we're going. That's the closest local bank for us, by the way, and also our closest for shopping. That's another thing too, if you're doing banking here, bring that to your attention. The main reason I chose BPI, they got branches all over the Philippines, and you're not branch locked, as I would call it. I can go and do over-the-counter transactions in any branch they have. I have done it, so I know from personal experience. Now, some of the banks require you to go back to your original branch to do anything other than ATMs. I didn't like that perspective. And if you're not using your branch ATM, some of them charge you an extra fee. We've been very fortunate when we do use ATM as non-BPI. The fee has been very, very small, very affordable, which is not bad, and it's convenient. And we can use for online shopping and all that. And most of the major stores that take cards, no problem. It is it MasterCard?
Debit card.
I know it's debit. Is it MasterCard or Visa?
It's just a MasterCard.
Okay, it's MasterCard. Sorry, I don't use it much. Grace does all the financial things. I don't do nothing but be lazy. Yeah, I've got a noise on my little van. It's a heat shield, and I want to get it back on the rack and see if put my eye on it, see if there's something I can figure out for them to do. They replaced the bolts and so forth in it, and it lasted for about 2 days. I had this problem once before and I had to manufacture my own heat shield, and before I could get rid of the rattle. And that was on a brand new vehicle, by the way. Brand new Toyota. Of course, that was many years ago. That's back in '84. And I put, I don't know, a couple 100,000 miles on that little truck, and never did have more noise. Now, when you get to highway speed, for some odd reason, you rarely hear that sound. Yeah, this dirt road here makes it seem like forever longer than what it actually is. It's only 3 kilometers or 2 miles.
The road's so
Takes about 20 minutes to travel that distance.
motorcycle, you can do 10 minutes.
Yeah, a motorcycle you can do it in about 10 minutes because you can weave around all these holes. Four-wheeler has a little more difficulty. I don't know if you notice or not. If you look at the road, you can see where the motorcycles have been circling around them. Made their own path. Most of these sugarcane roads south of us, I have noticed, they've already put concrete on. And of course, we're, I think, the last or next to the last road going before they get to the boundary. I don't know if they'd ever get the cement or not. But there's always pretty good communities on the sugarcane roads because that's where most of the workers live. Looks like we're going to have a nice day today. As you can see, there's sugarcane on both sides of me right now. So next time you're out and buy sugar, the odds of it coming from the Philippines is pretty good because they do export quite a bit. They're not the top exporter in the world, but they fall in up there pretty high. I looked it up once, and it's been a while, so I've forgotten the numbers. They probably would export more, but they got, I don't know how many PepsiCo and Coca Cola plants here in the Philippines, and you know they consume a lot of sugar because here instead of corn syrup, they can buy the sugar cheaper. So you get the original recipe here, which I've been enjoying. Of course, I don't drink a lot of cola. I have it probably on the average 3 to 4 times a month, something like that. Mainly when I'm out. Sometimes when I'm at home, I take a desire for it. But it's not one of my big issues.
this sugarcane here that grows so fast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sugarcane grows pretty quick. I think the harvest cycle is about every 7 months. And as you can see, I got short sugarcane on one side and tall on the other. And they do this in a pattern so they can keep their workers busy. Because this is the tropics, so the growing season doesn't change. Not by much anyway, other than dry and wet. And they'll pump water from a local stream on this during the dry season. Okay, folks, please subscribe, like, and share. And thanks for watching.